Well, whisper it quietly. There are signs of improvement at QPR and Seller. Well, we might have a small apology to do. We're also talking this week about Nardi, January window priorities for QPR, and who's the player of the month for November. We're doing that, of course, in the company of Michael and Jawad on Where Queen's Park Rangers Walk. Welcome back. Michael, you're improving, aren't you? Should have beat Watford.
I think we should have. I think the whole first half we were totally dominant. The second half we let them get back into it, but we both hit the post. But when Varane came on as well, I thought he was exciting. But I feel like we should have taken 3 points. But you can't be upset at a draw against a side that have done well at home. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, unbeaten. What in now 3, Jawad, and we've got 3 points on the board midweek. A nice draw against a difficult Watford side. What have you noticed? The subtle differences that are meaning you're becoming a bit more harder to beat.
I think a small thing is Morrison coming in at centre back. I think with Jake Clark-Salter being out, he tried Morgan Fox, who had a disaster in a home game. He tried Jimmy Dunn there and someone else at right back, and he never had a kind of a fullback option. So having a settled partner for Cook has been huge. I think. I think the performance against Stoke last weekend wasn't awful. I would say in the 3 games this week that we've played, the Cardiff performance was probably the worst out of all 3, and it was the one that they got 3 points. Maybe he's gone back to kind of what worked a bit well last season as well, kind of a bit more pragmatic, building on clean sheets as well. So yeah, really big improvements, I think.
I think some of the tweets I've certainly read this week agree with all of that. Thanks, Jawad. Kernow says it's frustrating, but that was probably the best I've seen QPR play in a long time, including Wednesday. Smith was actually good for the first half, and Sato Seller has to do more for me or take his chances ruthlessly. Last week on this channel, we called him out, Michael, or certainly I did, and you nodded along. Has he watched our video and is now ramming our words down our throat a bit?
Yeah, it's amazing what confidence can do. Against Cardiff, it was we took our chances, and that's the reason why we won that game, even though we were poor. Against Watford, he hit the post. He's getting in the right positions. He's still not getting the service that you'd want, but you can't complain at the way he's been playing lately. So I'm happy with him.
So since that missed penalty, Jawad, we owe him a little tiny apology.
Yeah, the goals against Cardiff were superb finishes, and I think that second one, if you've watched QPR over the last 6-7 years, the one thing we've lacked is a striker that when they have that time and they have time to think about it, none of them can finish. Lyndon Dykes 1-on-1, no chance of finishing. I think back to Mackie Wells at times, couldn't finish. Sinclair Armstrong couldn't finish. But it's the first time a striker's gone through and they've looked like they knew what they were doing. It was such a composed finish. And it's probably the first time that he's had a chance like that all season. So I think, like that tweet said, I still think there's aspects of his game that he needs to work on. His hold-up play can be a little bit inconsistent, but I think that the last 2 games he's shown enough to kind of maybe give us a bit of hope that all is not lost there.
Okay. Similar ones. Gavin here says, I would have taken 0-0 before the game, but we have to take some of those chances. Seller looks like he's got his confidence now, think he can kick on. Monstrous defending performance in the second half. I myself, when he put Fox at left back, thank God we got through that. Onwards ours. Did you have a similar experience, Michael, when he put Fox at left back?
Yeah, he doesn't feel with confidence when he came on. I was sort of watching it, sort of my hands, thinking, is he going to make the same mistakes as he did in his coming out home? But do you know what? He did all right. He got beaten a few times, but that's to be expected with the way he's been. But do you know what? He did fine, and we ultimately kept a clean sheet. But I think Nardi had something to say about that.
Yeah, let's talk about Nardi now. This one, Joad says, Nardi is the best keeper we've had since Smithies. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think he's been clearly our player of the season so far. And I think there's certain saves that he's made them look easy because his footwork is so good, his positioning is so good. He's made them look easy. There was one against Cardiff in the week where most keepers would have dived and made it look spectacular. But I think he's saving the shots you would expect him to save. And there was one yesterday where he parried it wide, and if he had pushed it out slightly in front of him, the guy scores the tap in. But he kind of angled it wide. So yeah, by far the player of the season so far, and definitely the best keeper that we've had in quite a few years at QPR.
Michael, do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. Against that, when he tipped on the post when Tom Callan had that shot against Stoke last weekend, and then against Cardiff, he was our man of the match by tenfold. He just fills me with so much confidence, and I think he's filling the defence with so much confidence as to why they're putting in better performances as well.
Yeah. Imagine where you'd be without him. What about Varane? Exceptional performance again. Many were saying again. Jawad, does he play a bit hot and cold, Varane, or are you starting to see a little bit more consistency from him?
I think we're starting to see a bit more consistency. I think obviously 3 games in a week. I think some players coming into this league struggle a bit. So wasn't surprised to see him on the bench yesterday. But when he came on again, we saw things that we've not seen before. The little bit of skill over on the touchline. He broke forward quite a lot against Cardiff. I think with Sam Field alongside him, he has a little bit more freedom to kind of roam. But there's definitely a player there, and if he can carry on improving, he will be so important for us. And I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was calling for Isaac Hayden to be re-signed in January, but actually Field was probably man of the match yesterday, maybe alongside Nardi. Varane's improving, Colback's coming back. So maybe it might just mean that this kind of need for a new midfielder might not be there in January.
Okay. All right. We've been thinking about who's going to be safe and who's going down at the moment. I've started to believe, Michael, that there are definitely 3 worse teams than QPR. Plymouth being one of them, Derby being another, and potentially Oxford as well. So actually, none of the current bottom 3. So when you bear that in mind, that there are teams which are now starting to slip towards the bottom, do you give it a little bit of confidence that actually this escape is perhaps not as tough as last year's?
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I don't think we'll go down. I think the performances, even against teams where we should be beating, we like you think we shouldn't be beating. Sorry, but Sunderland at home a couple months ago with a better side, I thought, and I feel like we seem to be putting up performances again against Watford. We were the better side. Cardiff, we maybe not. Stoke, we were the better side. That should have been really 6 points against Stoke and Watford. So I feel confident that we'll be able to carry on through.
Okay. Jawad, it's Norwich up next, who have just hit 10 goals in the last 2 games, and have a decent record at Loftus Road in the last couple of years. Anyway, how do you see this one going?
I was looking at the away form of our next 3 home fixtures. So I think Norwich got the 12th best home record, only got 9 points away from home. Oxford got the 22nd best away record, and Preston have the worst away record. So they're 3 matches against teams that don't travel particularly well. Obviously, Norwich are in form, but if we're going to win a home game, are we going to have to win 2, if not 3 of those to give us a chance? I think if we get to Christmas Day and we've not picked up a home win yet, I think we're going to be in serious trouble. They've obviously got goals in them, but I think their best performances have definitely come at Carrow Road rather than away. But like you say, I don't remember beating them that often at QPR, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
2018
I
we
think
got as the last time.
2018. I remember that game because it was the day that my son was born, and I missed it. And I can remember in the labour ward checking the scores coming in, and thinking, "Damn it, I'm missing a good one here."
Right, let's move on then. January transfer window. Then this is a daftest question I'm going to ask you both. But what are the priorities for QPR's wish list to Santa this Christmas? What do we need in the January transfer window? Michael, go first. What's number one?
Striker, left back, and another backup attacking midfielder.
I thought the striker would be there. Jared?
Yeah, I think we called it back in August. We said it looked like an all right transfer window unless we got an injury at left back and striker, and our left back got injured, our main striker got injured, and we've kind of struggled really since then. I think the injured players coming back are going to be like new signings. When you think that spine of the team, Clark, Salter, Colback, Chair, Frey, we've hardly seen them. I think those four, if they come back fit soon, will be like new signings. And I would have thought a young, pacey striker, maybe, and maybe a left back.
When's Dembele back as well? February, is it?
Dembele's out for a while. Yeah, I think it'll be February, March time.
Well, when he's back as well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Right. Let us know if you disagree with any of that. Drop us a comment below. Finally, then, to finish off this week, it is the end of November, so we're asking for your player of the month for November. I think we've given it to Nardi every single month so far. So if you kind of think of somebody else, that'd be good. But let's see how we go, Michael.
Just to say anybody else apart from Nardi, I'd say outside shout maybe Sato. I mean, he's looked most exciting going forward. He's filled in when we've needed him to at left back, and he's always worked hard. But it's Nardi. There's no other option for me.
Okay, Jared.
Yeah, I think Nardi's clearly the main candidate. But I agree with Saito as well. I think his work rate, his work ethic's been outstanding. He never hides. Again, the 3 games in a week, he was tiring a bit yesterday, but he still put in a shift. And I would say a special mention to Morrison too. 3 games he's played this week, unbeaten in all of them. I think he's played 5 games this season, and we haven't lost, and we've only conceded 3 goals in those games. So for a young lad coming into the Championship for the first time, I think he deserves a lot of credit.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Let us know your thoughts below. I've got a funny feeling this weekend. It might be the game. It just might be. It might be the first home win of the season. Let's keep our fingers crossed for you, shall we? If you haven't yet done so, drop us a subscribe. We really want to help grow this channel. 20 minutes a week, chatting all things QPR in a nice, friendly atmosphere with no fingers pointed here, and we're definitely not any Marty out brigade. I haven't seen any Marty out comments this week, which is great to read compared to previous week. Is that all nonsense died down now?
Well, I feel like the Stoke game at home, when everyone started singing Marty Fuentes' song, I feel like it all sort of unified it for him. And I feel like ever since then we've been singing his name and we've been picking up the players that working for him, and I feel like it'd be stupid to get rid of him now.
Yeah, it's only a very small minority anyways, wasn't it? Right, you two, thank you very much, and thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week.